any machine is connected and IP is not being the IP is not getting registered, what will be the potential reason you asked?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure actually. Like
Okay.
first, basically physical LAN we'll check first. That is basic thing. Second, how?
Okay. So let's say due to some reason, okay, if you are not able to assign an IP,
Hmm.
okay, I means the DSCP is not able to assign an IP. The simple answer is that the IPs which are there in the scope must have all been utilized to other systems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So in that case, we need to check what is the scope. We need to create a new scope either, or if any other machine which is using, right? Uh, we can check if the IP which is assigned to any one of the machines which is not been used, so we can remove that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sometimes what happens in real time scenarios, due to XYZ reason, okay, we don't actually we sometimes we forget to tend to forget the IPs which are being assigned to a device and the device is not no longer in use.
Hmm.
We forget to remove from the DHCP. So in that case, we can use this one. Okay, we can check.
Can we can we find out which device this IP has assigned?
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
we can. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen. So today just a lab kind of thing because a couple of days we couldn't do that. So I did it in the morning. Okay, let me know once you start seeing my screen. Desktop. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my domain controller one. Okay, PDC. Okay, and this is a part of virtual network one, VNet one. Okay, and whose IP is starting with 10 series. Okay, and I have alternate domain controller. Okay, which is a part of virtual network 2 and it is located in a different region. Okay. Sorry. Mm, so what happened to this? Mm, why it is not okay? What happened to this? Why it is behaving very weird today? uh, Strange. This is a default directory, right? And what happened to this? This is the same default directory. Wow. Anything else we have? Mm, Okay, see now it's up. Okay, see guys. So this is my primary domain controller. Okay, and this is hosted in East US region. Okay, and it's a part of virtual network one. Okay, VNet 1 East US. Okay, and the IP range which is being assigned to this is starting with 10 series. Okay, and we have something called ADC, alternate domain controller, which I configured. So this is deployed in the region of West US 2. Okay, and it's a part of virtual network 2 West US 2. Okay, and the IP series which has been assigned to this is 192. Any doubts so far? The
No.
reason why I configured, like, this alternate domain controller is something where it has been deployed in a different region. Okay, so that is the reason I have chosen a different virtual network kind of thing. Okay, so what I'm doing is that I'm just, first of all, I'm just connecting to this domain controller one. Oh, sorry, should use. Okay, and also at the same time I'm connecting to alternate domain controller. I'll show you some internal articles as well, but when we cover Azure. Okay, Harish. So how the
Yes.
things would be, how the document would be. Okay, but we cannot record it. Okay,
Oh,
during the time
yep.
due to compliance issue.
Yes.
And I have joined this servers to the domain. Okay, and see here, here we have a small clause. Okay, so and both the servers are on a different network. Okay, so we need to log into the server before we joining to the domain. We need to ensure that there is a connectivity, okay, between these two servers. Okay, how do we check that? How do we check the network connectivity, guys?
NetDOM query? No, that one for primary domain. Sorry.
Connectivity.
Correct. Connectivity, yeah.
Hmm. How do we check? Ping, right?
Yes. Sorry,
If it
ping.
is, if
Yeah.
it is reachable over the network, so that's when
Yes.
there is a communication established between these two, and we are good to go ahead and deploy the, what do you call, alternate domain controller.
Yes.
Okay, but as both the virtual networks are in a different network, so what I have done that, in order to establish a connectivity, okay, I have configured a VNet peering.
Hmm.
Okay, and Amruta, you please connect with Harish and show him how we are doing VNet peering only for this lab. Okay, just to ensure that we are using a different networks. Okay, the reason why done, like, we can use the same for what you call the Active Directory sites and services. Okay,
Okay.
so now I have configured ADC and PDC, PDC and ADC, and there is a communication between these two servers.
Hmm.
Okay. How I will verify? I'll just run simple a ping command. Okay. And this is the IP of this primary domain controller. Okay. And the backup domain controller IP is, I do remember, it's ping 192.168.0.4. Okay. And see, there is a ping.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now the connection is done, and I have configured the DHCP server on this like we did yesterday. Okay, I have configured the DHCP server on this, and I have created some scope. Let me see. This is a test scope which I created. Okay,
Okay.
and this is the address pool which I gave. Okay, the IP should be assigned from 10.0.1.12 to 10.0.1.24 to 44. Okay, this is my primary domain controller where I have configured the DHCP and scope. Okay, let's go and check the alternate domain controller as well. Okay, what is the status of the DHCP there? This is an ADC. Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's a ADC, but scope won't be configured here.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There is no scope. So failover means when we are configuring the failover, okay, it's something where we need to have alternate DHCP server, just like a domain controller, alternate domain controller, in order to provide, uh, in order to assign IP address automatically to the client machines. Okay, so in order to configure the failover, we can directly, we no need to come here and create a new scope. No, we are using the same scope. It has to be replicated here, which is a 10 series, right? Okay, and how do we do that? I'll show you. Now we need to go to the primary domain controller, the DHCP one. Okay, this is the scope option we have. Now we have to replicate the scope. Getting me? So when
Yes.
we are replicating the scope, what we need to do is that we need to go to the scope and we need to go to configure failover. Okay, click on the configure failover and click on next. Okay, so it will be asking the details of the partner server. Your partner server is ADC01.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so this is the partner server which came automatically. Okay, now click on next. Now it is configuring. Okay, see, there is something called load balance, maximum client lead time. I'll talk about this maximum client lead time and the mode. Okay, which is a load balance. And the relationship, I configure the name like DC01 dot so and so, local server 50%, partner server 50%, which means the load. Okay, when the load increases, how it will be distributed? It will be distributed between 50% on local server, 50% on the partner server, which means local server is your DC01.
Hmm.
Okay, this is the server on which, and the partner server would be your ADC01. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, configure failover is successful. Now we're gonna check the same thing on the ADC. Okay, I'm going to this ADC. What happened? Just a minute. I think something went wrong. Now we need to replicate the failover to the partner server. Okay, 192 series. The replication, because we are not seeing the same on the other server, though we have configured. Okay, so we are using a replication option. Okay, by giving a right click and click on the replication scope. See, it is
Hmm.
coming now. This is the test scope which we created.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay, this is the address pool,
Yeah.
right? This is on ADC01. Okay, and this is a DC01. Okay, so
Hmm.
likewise we need to do. Okay, there are two things which I just wanted to configure, wanted to discuss with you. Okay, see, there is something called failover. Okay, so when you go here, when you come to this, so it will give you the option like this is the partner server. I am on DC01. Okay, so it gives me the information of the partner server. Also, it gives the load balance. Okay, what is the maximum lead time? Okay, so let's say due to some reason, okay, and if DHCP goes down and we are just doing the failover to a partner server, right, which means we are just moving the load to other server. Okay, but meanwhile there are some client machines which got an IP from this DHCP server and it's working, right, and at any point of time, right, at any point of time when I'm just switching, okay, the DHCP failover, the machines, the client machines which are already been connected to the DHCP server or which are getting the IP address should still remain same for 1 hour. Okay, we cannot afford to have a downtime. Getting me? So that is the reason, that is the maximum client lead time. Any doubts?
Can you please once again tell?
Okay. Okay, let's say I have this DC01 and ADC02 01, right?
Hmm.
See, on on DC01 I have a DHCP server 1, okay, main pool, right, which I have created a scope, and on the DHCP server 2 which is installed on ADC01, okay, it is also having, but that's a partner server, because it starts with 192 series. This is a partner server. Okay, when I'm doing the failover, okay,
Hmm.
so during the failover DHCP server won't be available for some time. Okay, sometimes it takes 10-15 minutes. Okay, so in that time, if DHCP server we are doing the failover, so obviously there is a downtime. Okay, but what will happen to the client machines which are already connected and getting an IP address from the DHCP server? This client machine cannot afford to lose this DHCP connection, right, on this DHCP IP options. So during that time, what happens? So by default, 1 hour of maximum client lead time will be given, which means within an hour, you do whatever you feel like, whether you want to just replicate, whether you want to failover, whether you want to switch over your DHCP, but the client machines which already got the IP address, they won't lose it. Okay. So the connection will be established and the user will be getting the IP addresses. Okay. They will be continue using the same IP addresses which is being aligned to them.
Okay.
Doubt? Any doubt?
Means without losing any connectivity, they will continue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Without losing the connectivity, they will continue for 1 hour. That is the maximum lead time.
Okay.
Okay. So here I have chosen the local server partner server is 50%. So load accordingly, it will done. Now here the mode is load balance I have chosen. Okay, there is also called hot standby. Okay, when we select, so in this load balance, okay, in this load balance, it is in active state. 50% local server, 50% partner server. Okay, this is an active state. But when I select the mode option as hot standby, okay, hot. Okay, so in that scenario, what will happen? The local server will be having the 100%, so it will be in active state, and the partner server will be in passive state. So partner server won't be issuing the IP address, okay, until the local server is down. When this is down, so that's when partner server will start assigning the IP. Okay,
Mm.
when it is a load balance, the load will be shared among both the servers, local server and the partner server.
Yes.
Okay, any doubts? Good.
Mm. Yeah.
I would want you guys to perform this lab, okay, and share me the output with me.
Okay.
Okay, this is the scope type and all. And now let's say what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna deploy a quick Windows 10 machine. I don't want redundancy. I'm using the standard SSD here. Okay, and the network, it's a part of is like VNet 1. Okay, validation is failed. Why? Because there are some things which I missed here. And what is that? Okay, I need to select this one. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to join this machine to the domain, okay, and see from which scope this IP has been assigned to this VM, okay.
Mm.
What is the IP? And there are two DHCP servers, right? So let's say what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make this DHCP server down by coming here. I'll stop, okay, and then we can check which DHCP server is assigning an IP, okay.
Mm.
So you need to perform this lab from your side also. Harish, any doubt? Uh, Amruta, please, guide him how we are doing the VNet peering. Okay, because connectivity has to be established. So without establishing the connectivity, again, it will be challenging. Okay,
Okay.
so there is something called network watcher. Okay, so
Network.
here yes, yes. Uh, See, if you come here, there is something called peering. Okay, I have a peering VNet 2 to VNet 1. Okay, and it is connected, so that's the reason I am able to ping. Okay, please guide him as we have already covered the peering. Okay,
Yes.
so Harish, for you it's a quite new. Okay, please
Okay.
work with Amruta and establish this for this lab at least. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
because what we are doing that we are just making it for a different location and we are establishing a connection. Okay, so meanwhile what I'm going to do is that my DHCP server job is anyways it is happening. So what I'll do is I will install Active Directory sites and services. Okay, so by default, if you see, this is a default site name. Okay, so when we are creating, see, there are in Active Directory sites and services. Don't get confused, guys. Okay, see, by default, there are two servers, and this is a default site name which is being configured, right?
Hmm.
Mm.
NTDS settings. These are the NTDS settings. Okay, so here we can check the replication and everything. Okay, so by default, when we install, when we uh, have ADC and PDC, so by default, this is a default first time which gets created. So we can rename it. Okay,
Okay.
okay. And what else I'm doing? Like in sorry, There is a new site which I'm configuring. Okay, it's a new site. Okay, so in Mumbai, I don't have anything. In Hyderabad, I have two. So what I'm going to do is that for Mumbai, I'm just moving this server to Mumbai. Okay, so now see in Hyderabad, I have a DC Hyderabad branch. I do have DC01. For Mumbai branch, I have ADC01. Okay, any doubts so far? There is a default site which is created. So whatever, what all domains, even if we have a 10 domain controllers, okay, so that will be coming under the default site. But in real time scenarios, we need to segregate those domain controllers based on the site. Okay, because let's say my ADC, okay, my ADC is in, which is alternate domain controller, is in Mumbai location, and I want to have my primary domain controller at the Hyderabad location. So this is how I can segregate by giving a right click. By giving a right click, I can create a new site. Okay,
Okay.
and I have moved the servers to the default site. I just renamed to Hyderabad. Okay, and I created another site with Mumbai, and I moved another server from the previous site to the Mumbai. Okay, just to ensure that the domain controller is a part of the primary domain controller should be in Hyderabad site, and alternate domain controller should be in the Mumbai site. Okay, if you have
And
any doubt,
yeah, sorry. So if we
yeah,
will add another site, so that
mhm.
will be again ADC01. Means we can
No,
add.
that's the
Okay.
question. No, that's a clause here. Okay,
Okay.
there is something called subnet that we need to manage.
Hmm.
Okay, so there is a subnet which we need to create, is like, okay, and Hyderabad subnet has to be assigned with this. Just a moment. So what is 01, right? 01 10.0.1 dot,
Like it.
is this a series?
10.0.1.4.
1.4 is
1.5. No. We need to select this site prefix. Okay, leave it. I'll come to this active Saturn services. Let's see meanwhile if Windows 10 is being deployed or not. See, Windows 10 is deployed. Okay, so what I need to do is that I need to join the server to the domain. Okay, how would I do that? And it got a IP series from 10.0.1.6. Okay, now the server is not yet joined to the domain. Mhm. Any doubts so far?
No. With network prefix means because I was just fine. So subnets they are saying with network prefix.
Yes. It should be like 10.0.1.0
Zero.
slash uh, okay. Okay. So means from this subnet the IP should be assigned to any of the domain controller. Let me let me tell you reason. This is for Hyderabad. Okay, network prefix.
Okay.
Now I'm creating another domain subnet which is a 192.168.0.0/24. Okay, and see the reason why I'm creating a subnet and I'm attaching to a particular site, like if any domain controller, okay, any next domain controller, if it is a part of this network, no, so by default it will be added here in the Mumbai site.
Okay.
Okay, and if it is a 10 series, then it should come under this Hyderabad site.
Okay.
Getting me? So instead of, see, right now we have moved manually, but every time we cannot go and move it manually, right?
Hmm.
So that is the reason we are attaching a subnet.
Okay. So if third site will be attached, so for
Yes. If
that
any another
sub-
site comes, if any other domain controller comes, if it is a part of this subnet, this 10
uh,
series, so it will come under this Hyderabad
Hyderabad.
only.
Yes.
Okay, if it is for 992, it should
Mumbai.
come under this movie. Yeah, sorry, Mumbai.
Yes.
Okay, so that
Hmm.
is the reason. So come on, Baba. So once it is done,
So the third, if we will add, so like 170 is like other series, so it will be happen to
that no, it will happen to a different site, and we
different
need to create a subnet here
subnet.
separately,
Okay, okay,
and we need to attach it. Okay, that we
oh,
need to create.
okay. So ADC and that one will not be there. Like means
Sorry.
from through the subnet it will be
Yeah, through the
yes
subnet, it will be added to a
there.
under different sites.
Different sites. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is how we configure the sites and all. And if you go here in the NTDS settings, okay, if you see, you see now it is saying that it is connected from ADC Mumbai.
Okay.
This is, it will talk for Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so though it is a Mumbai server ADC, but it is communicated to Hyderabad site, and
Okay.
this is communicated to Mumbai site.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to do a replication, just give a right click on the free space and click it from the replication. Just a moment. Why?
You're in DC only?
Okay, now replication is happening. If you see, okay, you can come here, you can select it and replicate now.
Hmm.
Or you can check the properties. This is a DC, but
Hmm.
from where it should replicate from ADC01, which is a part of Mumbai,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
here we have something called schedule. Schedule we can change accordingly. So
Okay.
usually what happens, one, I think 180 minutes is the standard time. Okay, if any changes happen to the Hyderabad branch, and if you want to replicate it, so by default it replicates in 180 minutes. Okay, but due to some reason, if you need to have it immediately, you can come here and you can replicate it by replicate now option. Okay,
Okay.
by coming here and you just give a right click and click on replicate now, it will be replicated immediately.
Okay.
And if you want to change the replication time, you can change it by navigating to this properties. In properties, go to the change schedule.
Change.
Okay, accordingly you can make the changes.
Hmm.
To get replicated, the time is 180 minutes.
So 180 minutes.
Okay.
ADC to PDC or PDC to ADC, any changes happens. So this replication takes usually 180 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, where is my Windows 10? This is my Windows 10 machine.
Hmm.
Now I would want to add this server to the domain. What is the reason?
तो मैंने swipe करा.
I'm stopping the screen share for a while.
Okay.
Okay, so check why an Active Directory domain controller for the domain could not be contacted. Just search in the Google. Let me know what is the error. Why it is coming.
Maybe DNS setting or wrong IP address.
Wrong IP address. It
It
is
is
getting assigned from this device only, from VNet.
yeah, it's saying DNS misconfiguration on the domain controller side.
In the site, it's a misconfiguration.
Site. Some that means that in on Google it is showing some error like that.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
So while we are adding to ADC, okay,
Okay.
alternate domain controller, we were also getting some error, right?
Hmm.
Why? The reason being that we didn't change the nick preference DNS. Okay,
Okay.
we need to change the nick preference in the DNS, and that's when we need to attempt it.
Okay.
Uh, just a moment. Okay, so I'll just give some time for you guys. Can you please go ahead and deploy the DHCP server and all?
Now?
Harish,
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
okay. Please go ahead and do that because I don't want you to miss it. Okay, please do that and let me know. I'll be there online. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You can stop recording for a while. I am